Hey guys, this is Sirax Gaming and welcome back to another episode of the Combat Codex, this video series where I break down 10 obscure behind the scenes and lore facts about Mortal Kombat characters that you may not know. Today's episode is going to be focused on the blind swordsman Kenshi, who was revealed in the first gameplay trailer for Mortal Kombat 1. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to really thank everyone for the love and support on this series. Thank you so much for sticking with the channel and watching all the episodes of the Combat Codex. We still have plenty more to go. In 2 weeks' time, MK1 comes out, so there's going to be crazy amounts of content. I'm going to do all of the MK1 roster with the Combat Codexes and then the cameos, and then I'm going to also do everyone else. So there's still... This is like Combat Codex 10 of like 80. There's so many to go. I just wanted to thank everyone for tuning in to every video, and yeah, let's get into it. Kicking it off with fact number 1, during the 3D era games, Kenshi was immune to any move that affected or attacked his eyes, such as Sonya's Kiss of Death move, for example, as he is blind. This concept was dropped completely in MK9 and MKX, as it would have been pretty hard and dumb to balance that certain moves don't affect Kenshi, and from what we've seen in the gameplay of MK1, it's also not the case there, but it was a fun little tidbit about Kenshi being blind back in the day. A little bit of a bonus fact relating to that, if you did fatalities, like Kenshi's own fatality in MK Deadly Alliance where he knocks out your eyes, that actually doesn't happen if you do it on Kenshi. His eyes don't pop out because he's wearing a blindfold. Moving on to fact number 2, Kenshi is responsible for helping with the restoration of 2 ninjas in the Midway and NRS timelines. During the 3D era games, Kenshi frees Ermac from evil and gains him as an ally. And during the events of the MKX prequel comics, it is revealed that Kenshi entrusts the revived Scorpion with his son, and the two become quite good friends, with Scorpion even pleading Kenshi's case to Takeda many years later, as Takeda does not like his father. Their friendship is all well and good up until Scorpion attacks the Special Forces during MKX and has to fight Kenshi. Moving on to fact number 3. If you play the Test Your Sight minigame with Kenshi during Deadly Alliance or MK9, instead of watching the cops swap around and pick out which one has the medallion in it, Kenshi will instead use his hearing to determine which cup has the medallion. This is because, again, in case you didn't realize, Kenshi is blind. Fact number 4. During the events of Mortal Kombat X, despite being a secondary protagonist on the side of Earthrealm, Kenshi does not get his own chapter and is the only main hero in the story to go without one, despite being present during most of the major story beats throughout the game, including Shinnok's initial invasion, where he is one of the 3 heroes we follow, Johnny, Sonya, and Kenshi, during Kano's infiltration of the Special Forces camp after he leaves Outworld, where Kenshi helps Sonya track down Kano in disguise. Kenshi also goes to the Netherrealm to assist Jax and Serena with capturing Quan Chi in order to free the Revenants. And Kenshi is also present after this when the Shirai Ryu attack the Special Forces so that Scorpion can get his revenge on Quan Chi. Despite Kenshi being present during all of these major events, he does not have any playable chapters in the Mortal Kombat X game, and he has only fought once during Takeda's chapter, making him another standout character, as most characters on the roster in that game were fought at least twice throughout the events of MKX. Moving on to fact number 5, despite being jokingly referred to as and even compared to Keanu Reeves due to their resemblance, more specifically the blindfolded Neo from Matrix 3, Kenshi actually debuted in Deadly Alliance before Neo donned the blindfold. This doesn't change the fact that Kenshi does look a lot like Keanu Reeves, and Neo did come out first, as Matrix 1 and 2 were released before Deadly Alliance. Moving on to fact number 6, Kenshi's origins in the original timeline and the NRS timeline see him as an avid warrior who wanders around looking for opponents, but he eventually crosses paths with a sorcerer who we now know to be Shang Tsung, and is tricked by Shang Tsung into retrieving his ancestor's sword, Sento, so that Shang Tsung may take the souls that it is guarding. This process leaves Kenshi blinded, and turns Kenshi towards a life of heroism, and he vows to prevent any injustice he can. This origin is not the case for the MK1 timeline, as far as we know 2 weeks before the game comes out. Kenshi's origins in this timeline are as a Yakuza member, although he is still a hero and despises his current role within the Yakuza, and Johnny Cage is actually the one in possession of Sento at the start of the story. We do not yet know how he gets blinded in this timeline, and we don't know if Shang Tsung is involved in any way as of right now. Moving on to fact number 8, Kenshi is the main protagonist of the animated film Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind, which follows Kenshi's origins pretty accurately, with the main difference being that Kano and the Black Dragon rule Earthrealm now. After a bloody battle with Tremor leaves Kenshi near death, he meets Shang Tsung, who again tricks him into going into a cave to retrieve Sento so that Shang Tsung may take the souls that are being guarded. This process, as it does in the 2 timelines before it, leaves Kenshi blinded, and he swears revenge on the Black Dragon and Shang Tsung, and is trained by an old Kuai Liang as Sub-Zero, who has survived the Black Dragon's tyranny. The two then team up to take out the Black Dragon, although I believe it's actually Kano who kills Shang Tsung in this timeline, as Kenshi never gets a chance to meet him again after that point. Moving on to fact number 9, Kenshi also appears in the web series Mortal Kombat Legacy, with his origin story being mostly the same, except for when he enters the cave to claim Sento, he is met by Ermac, who has been tasked by Shao Kahn to defend the sword and kill any who would dare claim it, as in this timeline, Sento was created by Shao Kahn. It is Ermac who blinds Kenshi in this timeline and wins the fight in the cave. However, years later, during the first Mortal Kombat tournament, Kenshi gets a chance for revenge and is able to battle and destroy Ermac once and for all. And for our final fact of the day, Kenshi seems to be the only Mortal Kombat 3D era character to make it into a mainstay roster. The only other example of this happening is Quan Chi, but his status as a 3D era character is up for debate, as technically Mortal Kombat 4 is an arcade title, and these 2 characters are the only ones from the 3D era who have consistently appeared in games since that era ended, with most other 3D era characters appearing very infrequently, most not at all up until MK1 throughout the years, which is very disappointing, but you know, it works that Kenshi is a pretty cool character. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and let me know down below what you think of Kenshi in MK1. Are you excited to play as him? I got to play as him in the beta, and he's super fun. I didn't even touch any of the Sento puppet stuff because I was not ready for it, but even his base stance with a cameo was really good. Like, Kenshi was a lot more fun to play than MKX, and he's a lot of fun in MKX as well. So I'm excited to get some actual time to learn Kenshi and, you know, learn how to use his Sento stance and everything like that. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace out.